There are a number of ways to view and interrogate feedback data on the TfEL Compass. The polar map provides the broadest overview of your feedback. Remember that feedback is based on your own and others' perception of your teaching practice. So although the richness of the feedback increases with the number and range of people that provide it, it may not be 100% representative of your teaching practice. The polar map is still invaluable because it immediately highlights your perceived strengths and areas for development. The patterns you see may surprise you, which is the beauty of seeking feedback from different groups of people. You can dig deeper into the underlying reasons for your feedback in the open-ended questions, quality tests, and comments subpages. These can be accessed from the dashboard of a selected survey. To view the polar map, first click on My Surveys and select the survey that you want to view from your dashboard. In this example, we will view a survey named Interpreting the Data. If we click on Administration and Summary from the drop-down menu, we can see when the survey was completed, what survey template was used, and the number of responses from different survey participants. We can load the polar map by clicking on Survey Data and selecting Polar Maps from the drop-down menu. In this example, we can immediately see that this teacher's practice appears to be highly developed for developing democratic relationships and building a community of learners, and less developed in developing expert learners and personalizing and connecting learning. To the right-hand side of the polar map, there is a polar map interpretation graphic. Let's interpret each part of the TfEL element, which is an individual wedge on the polar map. The center of the polar map indicates the lowest level of development, and the outer circle represents the highest level of development. All feedback ratings fall between the outer and inner grey lines. The outer and inner light bands show the highest and lowest 25% of ratings respectively. The dark band shows where 50% of the ratings fall. A narrower band means the perception of the teacher's practice is more consistent across the survey participants. In this example, the band is wide for TfEL Element 2.1, Develop Democratic Relationships. This indicates that survey participants have different experiences of this TfEL element in the learning environment created by the teacher. Conversely, the band is narrow for TfEL Element 4.1, Build on Learners' Understandings, indicating the ratings are more aligned. Why is this interesting? A narrow band and low rating means that everyone who provided feedback agrees that this area of the teacher's practice needs developing. The white line within the dark band shows the median rating. This is the middle score, so 50% of ratings fall above the white line and 50% of ratings fall below the white line. The median forms the basis of the practice suggestions. You can view the practice suggestions by clicking on the dark band in any element. This is where the TfEL Compass personalizes the TfEL framework for you, because the practice suggestions are based on the feedback. In this example, let's look at how the teacher develops democratic relationships. The right-hand side of the polar map describes the essence of the element, which is the idea at the heart of this element. In this example, the essence of developed democratic relationships is the teacher shares power with students, recognizing it as a fundamental condition for learning. The indicators are actions or signs of this TfEL element being enacted. You can dig deeper into each element by clicking on the SA TfEL Framework Guide hyperlink, which will take you to the relevant pages of the TfEL Guide for more specific actions. Below you can see the feedback narrative and general practice suggestions. The combined feedback shows that this teacher develops democratic relationships well. Don't be discouraged if some feedback shows low ratings. Remember that feedback is perception data. Use the TfEL Compass data to start a conversation with students and colleagues, perhaps in a PLC setting, about student learning and your teaching. Develop constructive suggestions about what you can do to make a difference. You can then survey again after implementing some practice suggestions to monitor your development.